in this lesson, we're going to learn the one-step sparring techniques for blue belt level 1 to 4. So, in these techniques, unlike some of the previous ones, the attacker is going to simply start from a ready stance, and the defender is also going to start from a ready stance. So this is a change from some of the previous sets where the attacker started from a walking stance or fighting stance or whatever it was, because here you don't have quite as much time to react. So this is, again, moving towards a more realistic scenario of attack. So ready stance is very close in reality to a person's comfortable or natural stance, where they would be standing like this, and then if somebody wants to attack, the attack is probably going to come from this position here. You're probably not going to have this much time to see somebody coming in and throwing a punch. So we're starting to make the sets more realistic to what you're going to see in the real world. So from here, starting in a ready stance, your attacker is simply going to step forward and throw a punch from here. So it comes quicker. The defense, and that's the attack for each of the techniques in this set, is simply coming forward and throwing a punch. Right punch. The defense for number 1 is to step out into a sitting stance, 45, block punch, counterattack. So this hand is here just to protect, just in case. Your movement to the side should be enough for you to slip that punch. But just in case, you've got this hand here protecting. You're going to block and you're going to throw back simultaneously. So now, again, higher level technique. What we're going to start to do at this point is we're going to start using blocks and attacks in combination simultaneously. So instead of going back, block, and then come forward and punch, which takes too long in reality, now it's just this, right? So now it's a defense, movement, and a counterattack immediately. So defending and counterattacking simultaneously. So this is why I always encourage students to stick with me through the sets. Don't judge Taekwondo or Hapki-Do and the curriculum by what you see at white belt level. Judge it by what you start to see at the higher belt levels. So from here, block, counterattack with a punch. Now we can change levels here. So 1, a second punch, and then finishing with a side kick. The idea here is you can go high, low, high. You can go low, high, low with the side kick, but you want to try to change levels as best you can. So from here, you can start out middle punch. This is going to be a punch to your opponent's side ribs right here, because you're going to be off to the side of your opponent. So you're in a sitting stance at 45 degrees. When you punch here, you're going to be hitting your opponent in the side ribs, right here, where they're exposed. So you can go middle and put power on this punch here, up high to make sure that you back them off, and then adjust the feet and finish with the side kick. You could also go high punch, middle punch, high side kick for the finish. So looking at that from the side, so from here, that's where you would finish. And then I didn't do it there, but you should always key up at the end of every one of these techniques. So when you get to the final movement, there should always be a key up on these. So key up at the beginning, so and then key up on the final technique. So that's number 1. So block and avoid, punch simultaneously. You can do 1-2 like this, or 1-2 like this, or heavy and then push off, and side kick. Again, driving the heel in there. Number 2, Number 2, we're going to go the other side. So from here, stepping over to the side, avoiding that punch, pushing off to the side, palm side pushing block. So shoving the arm, preferably up above the elbow, push the opponent off balance with this technique. From there, twisting kick, step down, front snap kick. Again, ideally to the face. So the idea is you've defended, right? You've defended here. You strike with the twisting kick. This is going to be a hit into the side ribs again of your opponent. Comes from an odd angle, but here, fold the opponent over with that kick, and then boom, front snap kick, straight up the middle to the face. So number 2, from here, push, right? And from here, when you do palm side pushing block, you're going to push that arm so far away from you that you are unbalancing your opponent. So when your opponent punches, they come around like this, you are going to shove them so far with this. It's not just a little deflection, it's a big push. So you're going to be pushing your opponent off balance. The twisting kick is then going to come here. So depending on how they're situated, if they're shoved off balance and they're off to the side like this, then they're going to get this potentially in the solar plexus, they're going to get this in the groin, whatever you can hit, right? Whatever you can hit with this technique. But you can get it in there from that angle because it's a twisting kick. And then you fold them over, boom, you've got them with the front snap kick. So it all happens very quickly. So, right? And then front snap kick just like that. Looking at it from the side, so from here, palm side pushing block, twisting kick, front snap kick, and again, key up on that final technique. I know I'm not always doing it in the video here just because I'm demonstrating the techniques, I'm just showing them here, but when you're doing them and you're doing them at real speed, for real, you should be doing the key up at the finish. So from here, and that's number 2. You can also, if you don't like the palm side pushing block, I have another version of technique number 2 where I do the same block punch on the left side, coming around, block punch, twisted kick, and the front snap kick. The thing is, it's a more dangerous block to try and come across. That has to be a straight punch that you're blocking. It can't be a looped punch or a hook because you're not going to get it with this block when you block and punch. So it's better to use the palm coming around, push, and then come in, kick, finish. So that's number 2. That's number 2. Number 3, your opponent, again, coming in with the punch, front snap kick right away. So as soon as they come towards you, they're walking into the front snap kick. So now we're using a kick as a defense immediately. So instead of block, counterattack, we're simply counterattacking. So they're within range, front snap kick, step down, from there, side kick, reverse flat fingertip, high straight thrust, finish. So looking at that from the side, so from here, right away, left leg front snap kick, step down, side kick, fingertip, high straight thrust, right, reverse to finish. So that is number 3. Number 4, this time, we're starting out with a side kick as a defense. So they're going to walk into a side kick. Don't try to go for a lot of power on the first side kick. It's just speed. So you see them coming. They're coming to throw the punch right away. So here, it's a quick speed Side kick to start out, middle level, or even if you go below the belt level, perfectly fine on this one. If it creeps low, that's even better. So from here, right away, boom, quick side kick, then the power, the turn side kick. That's where you really drive it in. And this is a finishing technique if you hit somebody with this kick. But assuming they don't go down with this, we finish up with a punch just to be safe. So clearing a path just to make sure there's nothing coming back, there's nothing here, and finishing with that punch. So looking at it from the side, so from here, side kick, turn side kick, block punch. So that is number 4. That is the first 4 defenses in the blue belt one-step sparring technique.